Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Fitness Roundtable. My name is Dion, and I'm joined here today with Phil and Andrew. Today, we'll be talking about training in a commercial gym, how to spot someone who's trying to inform you or help you versus someone who just wants your money, and what to look for in a personal training job. Just to start it off, though, there's been some big moves in the Fitness Roundtable life, so we'll have Andrew kick us off. How's your life been, man? You and Phil have been kind of moving around and cruising, right?
Yeah, man. Moved to St. Louis, Missouri, which is an absolutely fantastic town. I love it quite a bit. I've been here for about a week, and it's been really fun. But yeah, I mean, pretty much for the past month and a half, between Hannah having her surgery and then us going to Lake Placid, Vermont, I've been in, I think, 4 or 5 different states in a month, which is absolutely ridiculous. And I'm very, very happy to finally have a place where I can sleep and not live out of suitcases.
The suitcase lifestyle. So Phil, man, you had some big changes too, right? What's going on with you?
Yeah, I was doing a very similar thing to what Andrew was doing. I was trying to set up like a move for a little while. We had some issues with like finding the right place because moving is hard and finding a good apartment is pretty hard. But like once we found a place, we're really happy with it. It looks really nice, and I live in Northeast New Jersey now, and I can look outside my window to New York City skyline. And I've been working commercial gym here, Crunch Fitness, for about a week. I started training a couple of clients this week, and it's been going really good.
Jeez, that's what I love to hear. Now, see, your boy D is still up in that Buffalo area. I ain't moving anytime soon, so I haven't had the same struggles as these two, but we're enjoying life. It's getting colder by the day here, so I'm trying to muster up.
Oh yeah, it's that travel nurse life, man. But one thing I will say though is that living in Missouri and having it be 85 degrees every day is absolutely wonderful and beautiful, and I love it a lot.
So oddly enough, it's weird because we were talking about these topics earlier before you guys even did this move, and it's wild how both of you rolled up in a commercial gym, And I'm a little bit on the outlier here because I am not training out of a commercial gym, so we're gonna have a little bit of contrast in that. So, Phil, kick us off, man. Like you said, you've been there for 2 weeks. Andrew's been there for a little bit of a shorter time. So, how's your experiences been in a commercial gym?
My experience has been pretty good so far. So the gym that I work at, it's a Crunch Fitness, but it's like franchised, so it's not owned by like the corporation of Crunch. Some other gyms, like I think LA Fitness, like every LA Fitness is run by like their big corporate structure. But the guy who owns the gym that I work for is just, some local guy who lives around the corner and grew up in that town and, wanted to open up a gym. The gym itself has only been open for about a year, which is really nice because all the equipment is like brand new and still shiny. And since I've been going for a few weeks and the way the legal mandates have been going, given the COVID-19, it's been very interesting because I was there last week and the week before for like training, like my own training, like, for the gym to train me. And the gym was completely empty. But then this week on Tuesday, the state was allowing people or gyms to open at a quarter capacity. So it was a very hectic day, and there were a bunch of other people working there. It wasn't just like me, the other personal trainers, and the club director. Like we had front desk staff, and it was very crowded, and a lot of people were calling, and it's been pretty hectic because our official move-in to our apartment here was Wednesday. So Tuesday was the first day the gym was fully open, and then we moved in all our stuff on Wednesday, and then I was back training 3 new clients in the gym on Friday. It's been a busy week, but Crunch has been they've been supportive. They they root for the people to get clients, and they help you as a personal trainer to get more clients, and they're like helpful in terms of like learning how to like work with people on they're not like sales oriented, but like how to like get people to like see the value in training. And I kind of like their philosophy there.
That's cool. I like how you said that they are not sale oriented. I haven't started training at this gym yet, but just based off the interview, I see what you mean by saying bringing value into personal training. They definitely don't want you to just, sell the most expensive package every single time, but they definitely want you to make sure that you give the client what they need. Whether or not that's really what they need is up to debate. But one thing I have noticed based off, I don't even really want to count my online stuff as personal training. It is, but creating a value by yourself and then going to a gym and seeing what your value is dollar-wise is very interesting, because at this gym, you need 2 certifications in order to make $25 an hour. You're making minimum wage if you're not training people. And that's very interesting because, I don't know, I think your time is worth a lot more than $25 an hour, especially when they're charging between $100 to $120 an hour for personal training. So, where's that money really going to? And I know where it's going to, but I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah, it's a big switch, man. Like, I guess like I started off in commercial gyms. That's where I got my beginning. I always say my bones. That's where I was in the trenches. I started off at a Planet Fitness. Well, I actually started off at Fit Happens, but that was more or less like I was still doing my own business. Like running my own personal training. But then when I moved out to Buffalo, I trained out of Planet Fitness for about 1.5 years. And that place was a lot more sales oriented. They really didn't care what programs you did with the people, if you were even giving them value. It's just, did they sign up? Are they getting in the classes? Does your metrics show that you have X amount of people in your classes? You need to get more people in your classes. It made me feel like I wasn't really trying to give value. It was just like, I'm trying to sign up a member. I did get paid minimum, like a little bit more. I got paid more than minimum wage, but it was one of those weird situations where I'm like, I know my time's worth more than this. Like, I give people more value. I'm trying to work hard and show them that like a trainer will help you, but that's not what you want. So it was difficult when I was doing the Planet Fitness situation. LA Fitness was even worse. Honestly, going there like really opened my eyes to what training is as a person solely versus training through a commercial gym. Not all of them are like this, but LA Fitness, in my opinion, was the worst. Like, they didn't care. They wanted you to get as many clients. They wanted you on the floor, getting people to sign up for training packages. The training packages were insanely high, and I was getting paid like $14 every half an hour. So it was just a weird system they had, and it was definitely all to get the most money in their pockets and not really in the trainer's pocket. So I didn't really like the commercial gym, but weirdly enough, I did take away things from those experiences that actually benefited my personal training business. So like, I understood ways to, entice or get people to sign up, how to run my own training business, how to keep my books, things like that. And then on top of that, I'm giving more value than they would have given. So now my potential future clients are gaining more, but I still have strategies in place that I did learn from these experiences. So it was a give or take. There were pros and cons to my situation.
I was just going to say, how long were you at LA Fitness?
Bro, I'm not going to joke with you. I was there for a week.
Oh my gosh.
I was there for a week. I stopped. I quit like on a Thursday night because the same day my training manager told me there's a commission they make for signing up training, like trainers and stuff. He's like, oh yeah, like if I get people to sign up with you, then I make the commission. But what he was pretty much told me, like I got a vibe, was what he was telling me was if I was to bring someone in for training and then they signed up with him, he would get the commission on that and I wouldn't make any commission. So what he would do was like, he would bring them in, He would send them to me. I would get them signed up, but because he brought them to me, even though he did nothing, he would take the commission from me. So he's pretty much like stealing commission. And I was like, yeah, that's not cool. And then I showed up 15 minutes early. I would always show up early to my sessions. All my clients know I'm always early, on time. One of the clients didn't show. So I went out to call my mom. You know, it was like standard wholesome call. I was like, oh, I'm going to call my mom with this 15 minutes of time that I have free now.
Mm-hmm.
I walk back in the gym. He goes, oh my God, dude, what the fuck are you doing? You're late again? And I'm like, what do you mean again? This is like, I'm not late. He goes, your client was 15 minutes ago. I'm like, they canceled, you douche. Like, like,
wow.
Like, yeah, I was real mad. I was pissed. I was like, and he's like, you need to take control of your business. And I was like, oh, I need to take control of my business? Guess what? Quit that same night. I'm like, yeah, you're right. I'll take control of my business. Quit that same night. Started my training business the next day.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was that was just a negative feel. I don't know if all LA Fitnesses are like that, but the one that I had experienced here, I was like, nah, never again.
I feel like that's really important for not even personal training, but like life in general. It's like if you have a craft, if you're an electrician, if you're a teacher, if you're a plumber, no matter what, if you have a privatized business, it's going to be better for you because it's your business.
Yeah.
Like LA Fitness treated you like shit. Why? Because they want $1 billion a year. They only want money. They don't care about you. They don't care about the clients. They care about money. And I think what you said was really cool when you were like, you know, I was in the trenches with personal training at a commercial gym. I do think that's really important to do for a while. I think you have to kind of go through the shit for a little bit, and no matter what job you have, like you have to work those commercial gyms. You have to have a shitty job for a while to kind of understand that personal training. I could give you the best program ever, but if I can't quote unquote sell it to you, then who cares? You know, because I can't give you value, and I can't. Personal training shouldn't be sales. It should be personal training. You should bring value to people's lives through fitness and not just make sure they give you $1,000 an hour.
So true, man. Oh.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. The LA Fitness thing is funny that you brought that up because I had a conversation with one of my coworkers like a week ago, and I was like, oh, I interviewed once at a 24-hour fitness and LA Fitness, and she was like, did you work at the LA Fitness? And I was like, no, and she was like, thank God. And it's funny because like you know, you think about like commercial gyms, quote unquote, as being just like this one big entity, but they can all be very different. And while like, you know, I get the base definitely true thing is that like, you know, the client pays a certain amount at a commercial gym, and then as a personal trainer, I get like maybe luckily like 30% of that. And where if we were working on our own, you get 100% of it. And it's like, well, you know, they provide the facility and the, you know, the marketing and all that, and they bring in the clients, and it's good to work for those places for a little while. And like you were saying, like, you know, you get your time in the trenches, but I'm glad I'm doing my time in the trenches at a Crunch and not at an LA Fitness. The one I interviewed at in Houston, I think it was if you worked, they only had half-hour training shifts, but you could work, you know, you could stack them back to back and get paid $13 an hour. And there was also commission, but like, you know, I didn't take the job, but they probably would have done their best to like not give you the commission. And it was very like, you know, you can make your money off of selling. And what I like about the place I work in now is that we get paid, it's almost the same as yours, Andrew. We get paid $28 an hour when we're training. So it's like much more per hour, and then there isn't like a sales incentive, because it's like the incentive should be to train more, not to sell more, you know?
Yeah, that's so beautiful.
Yeah, I agree. The thing that kind of messes me up, and I don't want to talk a whole lot of shit about the job that I just got because they gave me a job, but you're only getting paid $19 an hour with a certification, and for a lot of people, I don't know what, you know, both of your guys' certifications cost, but I know for me it wasn't cheap. And so if you get 2 certifications, you get bumped up to 24, which is cool. But at that point, you're almost, you know, $1,200-$1,300 in debt. Not debt, but you know what I mean? Like you paid all this money for for your certs, and then they're like, okay, well, we'll give you. So Missouri's minimum wage is $9.50, so I'll be getting paid $9.50 until I get clients, which is like I'd rather move furniture. Like I'd rather go back to my old job and move furniture and just make stupid money doing that, and then do my own private stuff. But like we were talking about, it's very important to kind of get that experience, and you do kind of need that experience in the trenches, and kind of do your thing. But it sucks how much you have to put into personal training in order to get money out of it,
Yeah. And I'll go ahead, Bill.
I was gonna say that's part of this thing that you get out of the commercial gym is like if you try to get certified and then immediately go out on your own, there's a lot of extra work involved in like figuring out the business aspects and like learning how to do marketing and then getting your clients and figuring out a place to train them. And the time in a commercial gym is like learning those first few things that like how do you sell yourself as a trainer and like the process of training without coming off as like sleazy, like building value in training without just trying to like sell it as a product.
Let me get mad real quick.
Go ahead.
How many of you guys have your friends come up to you for free training?
It's happened to me like a couple of times, yeah.
Dude, I don't think people realize that I'm not just making these workouts. I'm not just living my life just luckily being able to give people muscle. Like I had to make my own website, which costs money. I had to get certified, which costs money. I had to get Trainerize. I don't know if you guys use Trainerize. It's an online training app I use. That costs money. Like there's so many things that cost money. And then people go, oh yeah, cool. Let me get training for free. And then they get mad at me when I don't want to do that. It's so crazy.
You put it in a different way than I do. My biggest issue is time. Is not even like time versus money. It's just like I always like to give everyone their money's worth, even if it's free. And I'm like, it's you asking me to do a training program for you is going to take me like 2 hours of my like actual life just to sit down and do. And like that's kind of asking a lot of someone. Like, hey, like give me your time for free.
That's a good way of putting it. Like it's not just something that you can slap together. I mean, if it was, then we wouldn't be charging people for it at all if it was that easy. If someone says, it's like asking an artist to like, oh, you make paintings? Give me one of those. It's like, it takes time to do this stuff. And, whether you're thinking like about the money side, like I got to spend a lot of money to run the business and you want it for free, or I got to spend a lot of time making a program and you want my time for free. Like both of those things, like that's a good way of putting like how that comes off to me. I think my thing about that is like, I would not train someone for free very, very, unless it was like a family member. But if someone was like, if I met someone at a bar or something like, oh, you're a personal trainer, like, let's talk about fitness. Like if it was like, not building like a week by week program, but like someone who wanted to like talk about like, oh, I think this supplement sucks. Or like, what do you think about this kind of training program? Like I would talk about it forever. But if someone wanted me to like do real legitimate work for free, like that's completely different.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I would definitely second that.
Yeah, I actually I worked out my hours per client per month, and I typically will give one client 10 hours per month. And so yeah, depending on what you're what you're charging, and I had people ask me, for programming for like $20, $10. Is my time really worth $1 an hour to you? I don't think so. I would never ask you to do that, like
it's rude.
That's when you hit them with a sidestep and like you go, yeah, I'll do that. And then you send them one workout, just like one exercise. And it's just like 5 push-ups and it's one set. And they're like, where's the rest? You're like, oh, you just $10, man. That's what you get.
I thought we were giving out free stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, man. Do 10 push-ups for one set. You got it. You do that once a month.
And I actually I don't know how much you guys know about Trainerize. I mean, me coming into personal training during the pandemic was very interesting. I had to be very creative with how I make money. Like Trainerize is a really, really good app that you have on your phone. It's an app, and you log in, and I give you your workouts, and you can put your MyFitnessPal to it. You can do a lot of things, and that costs money. Like it costs money per month. And so for me to train, and not only does it cost money per month, but it charges you based off how many clients you have. So why would I train you for free when that's literally costing me money? Like I have to pay money to do that,
A good friend of mine actually he's a coder, and he was making he was trying to make a program that kind of was like Trainerize, and then someone brought up Trainerize. I'm like, this kind of sounds. He's like, oh, there's already an app about it, so I checked it out, and it kind of falls in line. Like it's definitely cleaner than my method for online programming, but mine's a little bit more. I use Google Drives for all my stuff, so like, it's easier for me because then I can have people like put their progress photos in there. I can upload their files to that. It doesn't have to be just what I write in the app. I can like write something on a napkin and then like take a photo of it and send it to them. So it was just a little bit more easy for me than having like Trainerize. But yeah, that shit's not cheap, man. Trainerize is crazy expensive. Like,
yeah, I use it too, and it's pretty cool. And I actually I program for myself, and I use like a Google Sheet for myself, and I also like take down info on Google Drive for like some of my clients at the gym that I'm doing. But I use Trainerize for the online stuff, and it's cool and it's useful, but it costs money. Like people thinking that like, oh, you're a personal trainer, you don't have to like pay for any of it. It's not like running a restaurant where you got to like buy the equipment and the silverware. Like, we do have overhead, and it's not fun having to pay for that and then having people ask for free stuff.
And not for sure.
Oh yeah. I wanted to say this before we go any deeper into something else. But yeah, I just wanted to say what Phil said earlier and about being in the trenches. Like being in a commercial gym takes away all the overhead of you owning your own business. Like you don't have to worry about equipment. You don't have to worry about obtaining new clients. You don't have to worry about building a brochure for yourself or a flyer that has your name on it. You don't have to pay a graphic designer. Like all that stuff is done for you. So you just kind of get to focus on honing your craft as a trainer, which is like a good thing. Like when you don't have to worry about all the other stuff that comes along with your own business.
Yeah, that's true. I like that. I do like the commercial setting for that aspect. It's really, really nice. Just kind of go in and train. One thing you were saying, Phil, about using Google Drive for your programming, I liked using Excel spreadsheets for my online stuff before I was certified, but it's not trainee friendly. I like Trainerize because you get to see what you have to do. Like it almost takes me, it brings me into the gym with you. And it's like, okay, I can see what I have to do. I can see the example workouts. I can see what I have to do. I can train, I can put an RPE scale. I can put what's RPE stand for? I can
ratings of
perceived exertion.
Yeah. I wanted to make sure that was apparent, just because I know some people won't know what RPE stands for, but it takes all that thought out of it, so it's worth the value. But I still pay per month. I don't think people realize like we have to eat. And I mean literally eat. Like I have to eat food. I can't just work for free,
I eat, we eat, man.
Yeah, I mean,
especially me, bro. Like I'm eating 4,000 calories a day, dog. That costs money.
Yeah. If we all win the lottery, we'll start training people for free.
Not even. No.
That's funny.
So yeah, I mean, so we crushed I definitely think we crushed commercial gyms. So let's move into our next topic.
All right.
How to spot someone who's trying to? We kind of talked a little bit. We like touched on some bases with it. How to spot someone who's trying to inform you versus who's trying just to get that money. Like, how do you like pick that person out of the gym?
I think we all can see that clearly. I'm the trainer that just wants money.
Easily.
Gotta eat all that food.
All your money, and I want all of it right now. That being said, I mean, it goes like. I don't think people realize how much sales go into personal training. Like I could have you buy stuff from me with zero problem. I don't need to market myself as a personal trainer. I could just have you buy apparel. K-Man Barbell has been open for I think 2-3 months, and I have way more t-shirt sales than I do training. Why? Because I can sell stuff, and I think people really need to kind of research what they want to do in order to make sure that they're getting the right information. Because if you don't know anything about training, you don't know anything about how to get fit, the first person that walks up to you with big biceps and goes, "Oh, you need to do this, that, and the other," it's like, okay, cool, sounds good. And then you pay $1,000. I think you need to kind of become informed by yourself and then look for a good person to really train you, because there are people who are just leeches, man. They want to get all your money. And I think it's important to really find value with people who want to give you value, which is a really hard thing to kind of explain. But I think you can really research yourself in what you want to do and then go find someone and then see if they're giving you bullshit or not.
I feel like you can always see like a person, like my thing is like with your initial conversation, how much value are they trying to give to you as a person? Like, are you getting a good feeling from them? Are they trying to help you? Are they putting in the extra effort beforehand? Or are they just walking up to you like, "Hey, are you looking for training?" Like, if you're looking for training, like, I have all these things, like, how about this? Like, sign these papers, the classic, like, "Oh, let me talk to you. Oh, but by the way, like, look at these packages, buy this package, sign these papers right now before you leave here." Like, I know that's a good tactic to like get clients and to retain clients, and that's just something you learn. But like overall, some people are really just on top of you, trying to get you to sign up with them, like every single second. Like, "Oh, hey, like, what are you doing right now? Do you want to just come like train with me? Like, spend $10, do this." Like, and you get kind of hounded. Like you said, you get kind of hounded by this person, and it's tough sometimes. But the person with big biceps walks over to you, and like, you got to cross-reference that information that they're giving you, check out things that might work for you, see what their schedule's like, see what their packages look like. Are they giving you one session? Is it an hour session or is it a 30-minute session? Do they only offer training in groups? Is that something that they're doing? Does it fit your schedule? What benefits can you see from this person? Don't just kind of jump, like you said, on the first person to walk over with a big butt or giant biceps,
Yeah, I think the point that you brought up, Andrew, about like being informed is important, because people go to trainers because they don't know what to do. But you can't go in not knowing anything about what to do, because it leaves you too open to being taken advantage of. And it's not like I'm saying, you got to be a trainer to get a trainer, but it's like, if you know what you want and just like a fraction of a percent about like how it works to get what you want, but you don't know like that much more than that, you'll be able to spot like someone who's trying to like sell you harder than the information they have. And especially when like they're not focusing on what you want or what you want to get, or like, in personal training, it's like, do you want to lose weight, like gain muscle? Do you want to look a certain way? Do you want to be able to do a certain thing? Is it for a sport, for a race, for a competition of a certain sort? Do you just want to be healthy? What does healthy mean to you? If they're not trying to find these things out while they're talking to you, if they're just saying like, "Oh, I can help you," but they're not trying to figure out like what you actually want, where you want to be in 3 months, and telling you like, you want to build muscle, here's what we would do to build muscle, and then like getting into the details and understanding that like, if the person says you want to build muscle, you need to eat 300 calories a day and not go to the gym. If you know a tiny bit, you'd be like, no, it's not enough food, and of course I need to go to the gym if I want to build muscle. You don't need to know too much to be able to spot someone who's not prepared to help you or who doesn't care about helping you. And I think that that's something that at a commercial gym or as a private trainer, it's someone who's focused on trying to help you, and that is the basis of the sale, is someone who's like a good person and a good trainer. Like, it's not about the sale. The sale of the training is like a consequence of them wanting to help you get to your goal. It's like, you as a trainer say like, all right, what do you want? you want this, I can get you that. To do that, you need to pay me for my time because I'm a person and this is my job. It's not, you need to pay me. Okay, now that you've paid me, let's figure out what we're doing. Like it's like client-centered training versus money-centered training.
Dude, I love the way you put that right there. How you said, and that exact term probably describes the whole situation. It's like, oh, you paid me money. Okay, now let's start. Versus how, oh, you want to get here? Okay, now pay me money. Like, it usually that's the last thing you worry about. You know, it's like you find out what the person wants to do with their life, and then you put sessions to it, or how much time you think that they need for that specific goal, and you say, well, this is what I offer, and this is how much I charge. And like you said, it usually is the other way around for someone else. Like, okay, well, if you buy these 20 sessions, we can get you that goal.
Yeah.
Right.
And you're like, and some people really fall victim to that, you know, like you said, they get taken advantage of because they don't know what they want. And people can really usually trainers are like good at that because we're outgoing people for the most part. So it's really easy to pick up on those tells when you're a trainer. And it's like, we shouldn't take advantage of that as trainers, but people do. And that's like the negative light. And I feel that gives a bad image to a lot of trainers too, because that sets off clients in the future from like us, like good trainers, because they're like, well, my last trainer just took my $600 and then I didn't even lose a pound. Like he never even talked to me. I saw him 2 times a week. Like, you know, and it gives them such a negative feeling about our profession that it almost hinders us as a whole unit, you know?
Yeah. I mean, Dion, especially you know exactly what I'm about to say. We both worked at GNC, and we knew the difference between GNC employees who wanted to sell and GNC employees that wanted to actually help people. Like my average sale was awful. My, dollar per customer was awful, but people came back for me because they knew that I was going to help them out. I think it's really cool. I mean, like you have 3 different personal trainers on a podcast, and each one could probably tailor you a different program depending on what you want to do. Like, within talking for 5 minutes, I'm not a runner. I don't like triathlons. You want to get strong lifting? Well, contact me. You want to get really, really fast? Probably contact Phil. Like, there's different niches for different trainers. And I think people just try to box in everything and just make a whole lot of money, And I think there's trainers who want a whole lot of money, and there's trainers who want to really help people. And I think that value that they bring will help them in the long run, but it's still tough, man. I mean, because like I said, we got to eat. I need to eat, and we have to make money. But at the same time, I'm not trying to absolutely just rape and pillage every single person that comes through to train with me. It's tough. Training's tough because do you really need training? Do you really need to exercise? It's like you're paying someone an extra whatever a month to quote unquote be in shape. It's like, you don't need to do it. So it's a very hard thing to like kind of get behind, because I think people just immediately think, I don't know, it's tough, man. Personal training is tough.
No, it is for a fact, man. A job that I applied for a long time ago before I moved out to Buffalo, and I'll shout them out because I really like their business models. Purebred Athletics. I think that's the name of the business. I could be wrong, but the owner, he said like the most interesting words, and they were like very insightful. He said, at the end of the day, we're a luxury, and we have to treat ourselves like a luxury, just like cutting your hair. He's like, you could cut your own hair with a pair of clippers that you bought for $10 at Walmart, but you go to your barber and pay $40. Why do you do that? He's like, because you like the way it looks. You like that you don't have to do it yourself. It saves you some time. And at the end of the day, we have to treat ourselves like we're luxury. I was like,
that's
nice.
Exactly what I was trying to say, dude. That's perfect. That is absolutely perfect. That's exactly what I was trying to say. Because it is like, you don't need me, but you want me. And so, like, let me give you the best tailored program you can, because I'm going to get you in shape. I promise I know what I'm doing. I hated personal trainers for the longest time. I got certified 4 months ago?
Yeah.
And it's because I had to. Like, I had no other choice. Gyms wouldn't hire me if I didn't have certification. But I thought personal trainers were like the biggest assholes ever. And like, you just have to find the right one. It really is like, you know, that one barber might cut your hair one way, and then another barber might fuck you up. Well, go find the right barber, you know?
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. I like the statement about it being a luxury, because I absorb so much content about fitness and training, and like, I mean, we're making a podcast. The podcast is free. Like, there's so much out there that's free that you could go, and if you're like, I want to get in shape and I want to lift heavy, or I want to do triathlons or soccer or you know, powerlifting or strongman, you know, you could find a YouTuber and, you know, a couple of podcasts and probably a bunch of articles, and you could read all that stuff and watch all that stuff and pay $0 and spend your time instead of your money to learn about all that stuff. And then you could, you know, figure out your own way in the gym and, you know, get in whatever gym near you that's, you know, $10, $15 a month and be saving a bunch of money. But if you're in front of a personal trainer and we're already talking to them and we're like, you know, okay, I'm the trainer, you guys are trainers, we're talking to our potential clients, and we're saying like, sure, you could do that. And I wouldn't fault anyone for doing that. If I said to someone, you know, here's what I offer, you know, we talk about like, you know, okay, these are your goals, here's how I can help you get there. And the person's just like, man, that sounds great, but like, I know that, you know, you gotta work, you gotta eat, but like, I can't afford your service. I would say, you know, that's fantastic, no problem. You know, good luck on your goals. And if you ever want any like advice or resources, you know, I can point you in the right direction. You know, I'm not gonna train you for free because I can't, because in my, you know, my gym doesn't allow that. But like, I can point you in the direction of like, all right, you can't afford training, but you can do it on your own. That's why like acknowledging that we're a luxury and not pushing it on people is important, because it is expensive. Having a personal trainer is really expensive.
Actually, one of my interview questions was, how much money do you think you are worth per hour?
Ooh.
What do you guys think you guys are worth per hour?
Like, how much do I think I'm worth per hour?
Yes, sir.
Oh, easy 50.
50 an hour?
Yeah, 100%.
You want to know what I said?
What'd you say?
I said 150.
Wow.
Oh, dude, and that's like the thing I think, and I don't know, man. Like, I really don't think you should undersell yourself. Like, I know what I'm worth. I know what you're worth. I'm not going to charge people $150, you know, an hour. Like, that's not, you know, but I know I'm worth that, you know, and especially monthly, like $150 a month really isn't crazy if you have that kind of money. Once again, it's a luxury, right? Like, you can pay $40 for a haircut, or you can cut your own hair. You can work out at a gym, or you could hire me, and I'll like, it's crazy, man. Like, I have 10 clients, and all of them see results. They all see great things. Like, it's not just me charging you money. It's me giving you like the body you want, man. It's great.
I love that. That sounds nice. And I said 50. I'm at 50,000.
That's funny. Well, I think it's actually really interesting that you brought up that question, because the like, what are you worth as a trainer per hour, or the opposite of that, like, I'm looking for personal training, what should I be spending on a trainer, is a big question, because it fluctuates so much depending on where you live. You know, the city that I lived in before I moved into this area was a really small town, and it's, you know, it's completely different living in a small town and being a business person in a small town. There were trainers in that area who would charge like the whole price was like $25 or $30 for an hour. And, you know, that's what me and Andrew have said, like, that's about what we get paid, but that's not what someone is paying to have me train them per hour. That's what I'm getting after the gym takes their cut. You know, these people are paying like $80, maybe $70 an hour to get us. You know, that's like the difference between like big city where I am and, you know, where you are, Andrew. And like, you know, even if I crossed the river and I went into Manhattan, there's people over there charging $150 an hour, and it's expensive, but it fluctuates like immediately when you think about the market. I mean, you can go into McDonald's and get a $1 coffee in New York City or in, you know, middle of nowhere, Wyoming. But if you're trying to get personal training, the cost of a trainer and what you can charge as a trainer is completely different when you go from like a small area to a big city.
Yo, that's so true. I mean, for me, like as being like my own business owner, it's one of those like cost of living. It's a lot of math at the end of the day for trainers, and I think that's where people might not get it because like Andrew keeps saying like it's like I gotta eat, but there's so much more involved in that. Like my pricing will always be based off of like how much is my mortgage, how much is my rent, how much is gas, how much is my car insurance, how much do I need to make per week. Like, how much do I need to make per month? And then that's how much I have to charge you just to, and certain people I know like just train just to get by. Like they don't want that extra leisure money. And some people set up their training and spending to a specific way where it's like, well, I want to have this much more, so I need to charge this much. And at the end of the day, it's like you said, how much do you value us as a person? Do you get the value that you're expecting? And then it's what they're worth, like New York City trainers will always be more expensive because cost of living is crazy high, and you can't walk into a place and tell someone that. I think that's what I've gotten the most, so I actually want to do a sidebar on that.
Totally.
I've gotten the negative side where someone's like, dude, you charge way too much. Like the guy down the street's charging me like $200 less than you. And I'm like, well, that's him. Go to him then. Why'd you come to me? And the problem is like Phil said, you can go to a small town where, cost of living is not that much. So they can charge you $30, $20 a session, and that's fine. But then you go to New York City and rent is extremely high. They have to charge you more. Like that's just how it is. So they're not trying to rip you off. It's like you got to respect their business and their lifestyle. So I've definitely had the negative part where someone literally has said to me, dude, you charge way too much. You're never going to get anybody. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, why'd you even call my number? Like my rates are on my website. Like, why'd you call me?
Dude, I got told that I was too big time now that I am charging actual personal training rates. And that kind of goes to show that what you put, Dion, like we are a luxury. We are not needed. You can go run on the street for free, but you need a value and you need something. Like you're gonna come to me for powerlifting. You're gonna come to Phil for running. You're gonna come to you for anything, right? Like all these things are quote unquote not needed, but they are wanted, and you want to be the best person you can be, and you want to be in shape. And whether or not I'm too big time is completely okay with me because I just feel like I'm giving you so much, man. Like I give people what they need, and whether or not you want it is completely fine.
Yeah.
That's a good way of putting it. Like we provide a service, and the cost of that service will fluctuate based on us needing to live. But also, like, if that cost is too much, you're not saying you charge too much, you should lower your rates. What you're really saying is you charge too much, that service isn't something that I can buy. It's like if you go to a store and you see like one brand of something, and then there's another brand that's twice as expensive. If you buy the more expensive one because it's nicer, or like, it's going to last 10 years longer or something, you buy the nicer jacket or something that's going to last you 10 years instead of 2, you're realizing that you're buying a good product. But if you buy the cheaper one, it's like you're making the decision that you don't want the more expensive thing. And when it comes to trainers, it's like if I provide this service and you think it's too much, then you just don't want it. Like that's fine. We're not mad that you don't want personal training from us. But if you say, I want what you're selling, but I want you to charge less, then that's not really fair. I mean, we're not out here trying to become millionaires. We would be in finance or something else if we wanted to do that.
That's such big facts right there. Like it comes down to those simple things. Like, why are you trying to haggle me? I don't try to haggle you at your job. Like, and it's just tough, man. It's really tough. And honestly, I charge people, like, and now to jump off of what you said earlier about like people asking for stuff for free, I used to do free stuff for people because I just was like, like, yeah, like I really want you to succeed. But then I was like, no, I started charging everyone, no matter who it is, because people stick to a program when they paid for it. Like I had so many things when someone I wouldn't sell them a program and they would just like do it for a week and be like, yeah, it's kind of boring. I don't want to do this. Like I really don't care. I got stuff going on in life. And then like the moment I charged them like even $30, like they're like, oh dude, like I feel like such shit. I miss my week's exercise. I was like, what? Okay, you got to be held accountable. And I guess paying for it means you got to be held accountable. So,
dude, the only people I don't charge is my mom and Hannah's mom because they're both my moms. That being said, if you're my cousin, you're my aunt, you're my sister, you're my whoever, you're getting charged the actual rate. I'll give you a little bit of a discount because I'm not an asshole, but it really is like crazy how people immediately start doing something because they get charged for it. I'm not giving you free workouts because you're not going to fucking do them, bro. Like, you're not going to fucking do them, dude. Like, it makes me mad. It's like, all right, I'm charging you this much per month now. It's like, oh, I'm going to start doing it. It's like, why didn't you do them before? Like, just because it's taking money out of your pocket, now you're going to do them? Like, that's so crazy.
Right?
Honestly, I've heard that that's the like business model of places like Planet Fitness that charge very little amounts so that they can get people on those like recurring payments, and that it's only like, what is it, like $9.99, or maybe now it's like $15 a month for like the base level membership, and that like people won't even be going, but they're like, it's only $10, like maybe I'll go, or like I'll go to cancel it later. And that like gyms that are more expensive, people end up going because they don't want to lose the value of what they're paying for. And if you get something for free, it's like the motivation of utilizing it is a lot lower because you haven't invested into it.
And like, yeah, it's gym psychology and business theory for that. It is a thing like where you're charging someone far less than what it's worth, but because of that, there's no retention on what they're doing. So there's a big article I read a whole article on Planet Fitness's gym psychology and like things they do to hinder people's like return to exercise or commitment to exercise.
Whoa.
And it was pretty intense. Like, so, and it was funny that you brought that up because that was a big one. They're like, they don't charge you a lot, and the amount of members to like space in any Planet Fitness, I think, is like 20% higher than what the gym can actually hold.
Yeah, they you brought up something else that I've heard, that like the they designed their like member base so that like if all the people that were actually members tried to go like in one 24-hour period or even like across a week, they wouldn't be able to handle it. That, like you were saying, it's like 20% more than they could handle in the space. But they know that because they're not actively trying to get people not to come in, but like they're not trying to get them to come in,
The Fulton County YMCA, I used to be a lifeguard there, and they had 6,300 members.
Whoa.
You're telling me 6,300 people will fit in your gym? Zero shot. Like they know people aren't going to come. They know there's actually a thing that people track, like ghost members. They're ghosts, like they don't show up, and people track that because out of the 6,300, you have 2,000 actually going. Like that's crazy, bro. Like my parents were members of the Y for like years and never went once.
Like,
God. That's
it's
expensive, man. Like the Y is not cheap.
It's like $60 a month, bro. It's expensive.
Whoa.
So
never belonged to a Y.
it's not bad. You heard it there first. Andrew said they suck. Not me.
Ooh.
God, man. So
I will talk so much shit about the Y. I won't talk shit about Club Fitness, but I'll talk shit about the Y for sure.
Club Fitness. Yeah, I couldn't. The Y was fun for me. But until they told me I couldn't practice soccer in the big like 2,000 square foot gym. And I was like, what do you mean I can't have this ball in this gigantic gym with reinforced walls? Like, and then I left.
Wow.
Were you and I there when that kid broke that window, which is why we can't play soccer there anymore?
Yeah.
I thought it was not.
Yeah.
It was Taylor. It was.
Don't snitch on him. But like, I remember the shot. That was a strong shot.
I'll cut that up. That's my boy T. I know that for sure.
I know T. I was there. We were playing, and he took the shot, and I was like,
he ripped it, bro.
Yeah. I was like, oh, geez, that's hard. Like, I've never seen a soccer ball crack a bulletproof glass. It was like reinforced. It was a reinforced window. Like,
Oh man,
he shattered it. It was insane.
Jeez.
Just a normal size 5 soccer ball with a size jack leg.
During the time before the release of the podcast, I was offered a position at Club Fitness. I was then ghosted and never received the job. Your boy's now moving furniture again. Yeet! What's going on, guys? It's the Fitness Roundtable with Caveman, CavemanBarbell.com, Phil, YosTraining.com, and Dion, ActiveGamerFitness.com. The Roundtable is more of a discussion than anything. We hope you enjoyed. Leave a like and subscribe. Stay fit, stay strong, stay educated.